the next book that I'm working on is a novel. I'm about 12 chapters in, and it takes place in 2094, and the protagonist is a woman, and it deals with the idea of, let's say we crack anti-aging, which I follow this field quite closely just because I find it fascinating. More like tons of money is getting dumped into this, and the breakthroughs across the medical field are really starting to ramp up. I mean, a couple decades ago, it was like if one thing happened in the year that made the news, it was like, whoa, okay, cool. Now it's like every week something is yeah, multiple times a week something is popping up. You could probably just map the trend of the number of stories. You'll get an exponential curve, and it's like when it hits an asymptote, you're probably looking at something like biological immortality or anti-aging to some degree that is going to significantly expand the human health span and lifespan. So in regards to that technology, or that set of technologies in particular, it's like, all right, well, now we can actually think about the fertility crisis a bit differently. If you have this huge portion of the population which is aging, and we actually figure out how to bring their age back down, potentially even into fertile years, the fertility crisis suddenly has a completely different set of math that you have to pour into it. Adjacent to that is, well, what is like an institution like marriage look like when till death do us part is potentially a long, long time. I think there's going to be a lot of situations where if this set of technologies does impact the population at large, there's going to be quite a few people who look at each other and like, we had a good run, but I think we're both thinking the same thing. And it's like, yeah, okay. They hug it out and they go their separate ways because, that's, and maybe that's blasphemous or sacrilege. But if you look at the history of marriage, as its own technology, it has evolved, and it has much different reasons and incentives today than it did, even a few hundred years ago. So I like thinking about, I don't know, I've gotten off the question a little bit, but I like thinking about the sort of second and third order effects of technologies, because it's like, oh, live for a couple hundred years, great. But it's like, all right, let's go beyond that and think about like, all right, what does that mean about like your family, your relationships, all that sort of stuff.
Right.